As a copywriter, your job is to entice people to act. But what if you could do that more effectively? What if you could use AI to improve your writing? And what if you could do it faster, work less, and actually make more money? This will work for any online business, including personal brands, authors, speakers, coaches, and course creators. It will also work for bricks and mortar businesses, as we have proven time and time again. My son, Sean, and I own an actual real-world coffee shop here in Spokane, Washington. It's called Revel77, and we're using these same workflows in that business. Plus, back here on the old interwebs, my team of writers uses these AI tools for clients. So enough with the preamble, let's get into it. Our podcast content creation process starts with a script for my weekly podcast, which is a video podcast on YouTube and available on all the usual networks like Apple Podcasts, Spotify, etc. Thanks to these AI tools, I'm able to analyze millions of data points on what my audience wants most from me. Step 1, research the topic most on the mind of my audience. This makes use of Robert Collier's often quoted, but seldom followed, advice to join the conversation already taking place in your reader's mind. In other words, what's bugging your people? How can you help it stop bugging them? I do this research by using an app called vidIQ, which is plugged right into my YouTube channel. I've previously used vidIQ as my AI-based YouTube consultant. The AI analyzed my channel and the more than 400 videos I've uploaded and helped me identify what works and what doesn't work with my viewers. vidIQ identified the most important keywords and topics for me to focus on. And then every day, the AI gives me totally personalized video ideas, along with predictions that show me which ideas are likely to be hot and which are not. Then I can ask it to take any one idea and flesh it out for me a bit. I rarely use any of the copy generated by this feature because, frankly, it's not very good in my hallucination. I'm sure it'll get better with time. Step 2, put my research into a document used to write podcast scripts. This is my working document. I use Google Docs. You can use whatever you like. I reworked the title and description to be more dialed in for my viewers and listeners. Step 3, write my human-generated outline. This may be the most important step. AI is a great tool, but a tool requires someone to use it and to do so skillfully. So far, AI cannot replace the creative human spark, the human-generated fire that comes from a hot idea. You know it when you feel it. You can test this for yourself. I'm confident you'll find the same things to be true. Unless your ideas suck, then you'll find that out too. Once I have my outline the way I want it, I go on to step 4. Run my text through my secret weapon, a copywriting specific AI tool called Scribe. In fact, the AI that I use is trained by me, and we trained it using my own best pieces of copy, and we also baked in my special copywriting recipe. It's my trademarked pastor framework for writing copy. Scribe is the only system in existence with this unique knowledge. I've taught it things about pastor that even my best human students don't know. Yes, you can use the old chat monster to help you with this part, but I've tested them extensively against each other, and when it comes to writing persuasive copy, Scribe wins hands down. You can use it free with no credit card required by going to clarityscribe.com. Step 5, read the text generated by Scribe out loud as the final proofreading check to make it the best possible copy. I suggest you read it out loud, standing on your feet. I know that this will feel weird, but trust me and do this. This is something I learned from my friend Ken Davis, who trains public speakers to be more dynamic, interesting, and engaging. He advocates for something he calls the OVERWHELM test. That means giving a presentation, or in our case, reading your copy out loud while standing, as if you were giving your talk to other humans. Bonus points if you actually do give your talk to other humans as you read it. While this may seem silly, and you may be tempted to skip it because it's uncomfortable, I encourage you to try it. This is the best way I know to discover the confusing or rough parts of your copy. If you stumble over it by reading it out loud, your readers, listeners, and viewers will stumble over it mentally. You want to smooth out all those rough patches. so there are no stumbles, no friction between the ideas you want to get across to your reader and them instantly understanding those ideas. When that is done and you have made any required corrections, you may move on to step 6. Now I'm ready to record the video. All this preparation will make my podcast stand out from all the random, verbose, time-wasting, conversational podcasts. You know, like many of those I produced in my past. Hey, we're all works in progress. There is a place for conversational podcasts, but what we're working on now is a mission-critical, relationship-developing, value-producing podcast, and we need to be serious about preparing for that. The preparation is vitally important. My dad taught me that one of the most important lessons he could give me is what he called the 5 Ps. Prior preparation prevents poor performance. Having the podcast carefully researched, written, and then performed as written is important to make it as helpful as possible to my readers and listeners. That will pay off as a business investment in the long run. Usually the person who's the most insistent about just winging it is really saying, I don't want to do the hard work to prepare. The good news is this work is now much easier thanks to these AI tools like vidIQ and ClarityScribe. Next up is where all of our preparation and research really begins to pay off. Step 7. Have my video editor polish up the video. If you didn't know until now, you'll also discover when you go look that the tools you normally use to edit video, like Adobe Premiere, already have amazing AI-based functions built into the software. These new functions speed up and improve the quality of your work to take out all the gaps, breaths, and bad takes in the raw video file. What once took hours now takes less than 5 minutes. The same is true for most audio software, including Adobe Audition. My audio podcast producer adds in the final audio elements and tweaks for the podcast version, and then both audio and video are submitted to me for final approval before we publish. Now, it's worth noting, I used to do all these things myself. I did it without any AI assistance, and it took many, many, many hours. Now it would only take me a fraction of the time. Now, if you're not ready to hire an editor, you can do this yourself because of these AI tools. It's only really possible on a mass scale because of AI technology. And now we're getting down to the last few pieces of this content puzzle. These are the things that will stop most of your so-called competitors from keeping up with you. Step 8. Run the audio back through my Copywriting AI podcast module. I upload the finished podcast to ClarityScribe, and she gives us the word-for-word transcript, writes the description for YouTube, pulls out the quotable quotes for tweets, writes the emails we will send to our email list, and crafts excellent social media post copy about the episode. By this time, we know the podcast, both the audio and video versions, are in their final form, so it's time for the next step. Step 9. Put the video through Opus Video AI. Opus does an amazing job of identifying the best segments for the short-form vertical videos and those cool captions you see on so much of the best micro content. This tool is so good at this, it borders on the miraculous, especially if your content is well structured. You have ready-to-use social video, broken into pieces, and clearly summarized, captioned, and even visually reframed and reformatted for each different channel. This provides you with enough content to do lots of promotion for the week for your podcast when it's released. Step 10, load up the podcast post on YouTube, the blog, and the socials. Almost every social network has some kind of AI functionality already built in that will only be most valuable to those who've done the previous 9 steps. For this social media marketing thing to work, you have to have made content that is tight, focused, structured, and that makes the tools built into your favorite distribution network work better for you. Voila. AI at its best. Now it's time for the most rewarding step of all. Step 11, launch the video using our secret sauce. We use a coordinated content launch strategy. Learn from a couple of the 2 top experts on the subject. I use many foundational techniques and principles I learned from Jeff Walker, the inventor of the Product Launch Formula coaching program. You can find many of these principles and techniques in his book called Launch. A couple of times a year, he offers a free masterclass in these techniques. So make sure you subscribe to his email list and to his YouTube channel so you don't miss those. And when it comes to specifically growing YouTube channels, there's no one better than Sean Cannell, rhymes with channel, and his team at Think Media's Video Ranking Academy. In their academy, you learn to launch each new podcast or YouTube video. And I mean launch it. I strongly recommend watching this video, which I'll link to in the show notes, which talks about their methodology and reveals their proprietary formula for getting your videos to rank well. So much learning, available, totally free. This may seem like a lot of work to you, this whole process, and it is. But you don't need easy, you just need worth it. And this is worth it. Doing all the steps in this final push at once and doing it right is important because it provides the force multiplier marketing effect. It magnifies the power of your marketing. So you've published your video podcast episode. Now what? AI to the rescue again. What once used to take hours or even days, we can now begin seeing in real time. This is the future of copywriting. And if you want to succeed in this field, you need to embrace it. I hope you use this post as a template. In fact, we have made a PDF checklist that walks you through every step of the process you just watched. If you want this checklist, simply go to rayedwards.com/625. It's yours with our compliments, totally free. Start producing your own content in a similar fashion. Embrace AI. And of course, I encourage you to use Scribe, which, to be clear, is developed by me and my company. So I definitely have a vested self-interest in persuading you that you're going to sign up for it for free, no credit card required, and try it out. Go get this amazing AI-powered tool now. Leave your comments and questions below wherever you're watching or listening to this content. We'd love to hear from you. And until next time, peace to you and peace to your house. Live long and prosper.